Am I the idiot for calling out my sister-in-law's awkward financial and marital situation? This is a long one, so buckle up. I, female 32, am married to Mark, male 37, and we are child-free. This will be relevant later on. My husband and I met right before the pandemic, so I did not get a chance to meet his family until summer of 2021, when we were already engaged. Even though we are different people, my PIL is a really lovely person. So Mark's sister, Ashley, 33 female, is married to John, 47 male. They do not have any kids because John doesn't want any more and has taken steps to ensure this does not happen after they got together, but didn't tell her. He has 3 kids from his first marriage, which ended when he met Ashley 6 years ago. She does not work and relies on her husband for all her expenses, which has been a strain on the relationship. She pretends everything is perfect. My husband and I are both hard workers and savers. We're not cheap, but we budget everything, and we spend money thoughtfully. We were in very similar financial situations when we met and decided to share finances rather than worry about splitting everything. We go out to dinner once a week and travel 3 to 4 times a year because we have the means. Last weekend, my in-laws and Ashley, along with my family, came to our place for the Super Bowl. My family is close by, but Mark's is a plane ride away, so they were staying with us. We live in a high cost of living city in the northeast of the U.S., so we have a smaller place, but we own it. My in-laws took our guest room, which doubles as an office, and we put my sister-in-law in our spare space, which is an oversized closet I use as a reading room. From the moment they arrived on Friday, my sister-in-law was making negative comments about our lifestyle/things. She commented about her not having her own bedroom/bathroom, our building the view, my clothes, not designer, our travel plans, our lack of children, only having 1 car instead of 2, the alcohol we provided, and the place we picked for dinner. She pretty much had something negative to say about everything. It came to a head during halftime when Rihanna was performing. My brother asked which country she was from because he forgot, and my sister-in-law said street. Martin and I laughed and said no, Barbados. Then she knows because she and her husband own a home in Smartin, and I wouldn't know because we don't travel. I finally snapped and said she should ask her husband, since he is actually the one that owns the home, just like everything she has. This is where I may have been the idiot. I asked her just how ironclad her prenup was. It is very secure and is an issue in her marriage, and then questioned her about her timeline on children. She got really flustered and then spent the second half of the game in her room. The rest of the night was a little awkward, but no one said anything to me. I said goodbye to my PIL before I went to work on Monday, but my sister-in-law was still sleeping. My husband thinks I was a little harsh, but that she had it coming, and my parents just thought it was out of character for me. My sister-in-law was pissed the whole trip home. ETA, I just want to be clear that my sister-in-law was loudly negative to anyone that would listen, including our friends who met up with us on Friday, family dinner on Saturday, and in front of my family on Sunday. Update. I called my sister-in-law today and we talked. She came at me hard and I let her. When she was done, I apologized for my swipes about children and her prenup, and then explained that she spent the entire weekend taking swipes at both my husband and I while she was an uninvited guest in our home. She was mad at first, but eventually apologized. She did not really acknowledge what she was apologizing for, but it's a start. Due to the character limit, I did not include how our relationship started, which has a lot to do with how I respond to her. She did not know anything about me when my husband and I met, and I know he doesn't share much information about our lives with her, so she made a lot of assumptions. I did tell her she needs to cut the crap if she wants to be a part of our lives. Also, everything I know about her life, she told me herself. During the actual lockdowns, we did a few Zoom calls with her early on, and she told me all about her life. None of what I threw back at her was a secret to anyone in the room, since it was her parents, brother, and my parents and brother. My family knows all about her marriage because she told them, not me. I was wrong to use it against her, and I plan to make an attempt to work on our relationship moving forward. Finally, I called my in-laws and apologized to them as well. My mother-in-law was a little hurt by the way I went after her daughter, but my father-in-law pointed out to her that my sister-in-law was not only being awful to me, but to their son as well, and it would be better if they just don't pick a side in any of this. I invited them to come again, but asked that they come alone now that they know how to navigate the airports and flights. Not the idiot. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I just don't get why those with glass homes always throw the first stone. Everyone sucks here. Her for obvious reasons. You went much further than you needed to put her in her place. By all means, tell her to keep her jabs and negs to herself. By all means point out that her finances are not hers, but the marriage and pregnancy stuff was just malicious. You went past slapping down her comment and just went to town on her generally. No need. Not the idiot. You don't have to put up with someone insulting you like this in your own home. People should be called out for the idiot poop they say, and that's what you did. Maybe she should think twice about being rude to you. Should she have held her tongue? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for not telling my husband about all my reward points cards? I, female 29, have been married to my husband, male 30, for 9 years. I am a stay-at-home mom with 4 beautiful children under 10. My husband makes $150 plus a year, but decides where every dollar and cent goes. 50% to day-to-day expenses, 25% to the children's education savings, 10% to family savings, 7.5% to his personal spending, and 7.5% to my personal spending. Any bonus he makes or money back from taxes goes immediately into retirement. Doing it this way leaves us no money for vacations or big trips. Since we got married and moved in with each other, I've been completely responsible for all the shopping, whether it is clothes, groceries, furniture, or whatever else. I learned very early on with the help of my mom how to coupon clip and how to use points cards to their maximum potential. I usually get 2 or 3 different reward points and save 10 to 25% per transaction I do. My husband only knew about the coupon clipping, not the rewards points. For the past 5 years, I've been going on a girls' trip with my family every year. I've been telling my husband that my sisters, sister-in-laws, mom and grandma have been paying for me to go since I can't afford it. But in reality, I have been using the rewards points to pay for the ticket, using rewards to pay for our groceries, and using my difference to pay off my credit cards so that I am able to go on the trip. This year, my brothers, brother-in-laws, father and grandfather decided to do their own boys' trip and invited my husband. My husband told them that unless they can help him as the girls help me, he would have to decline the invite. My brother responded to him with, "What do you mean? She says you pay for her to go." My husband confronted me about the situation and I confessed to him what I have been doing. He was extremely hurt, saying that with all these points, we could have done a lot more as a family, rather than just one person hoarding them all to themselves. And if I set him up with his own credit cards to get even more points, it would have been a lot easier for us to do big family vacations. My entire family has been calling me selfish and a jerk for not being more open about the points, but I feel that worked very hard to get to the point levels I have gotten to, and that making them more open for use would burn through them quickly, and not allow them to be used for bigger things. Am I the idiot? Update. I wanted to clarify some things before I get to the actual update. Yes, married young. It is a common practice in my religion. We have known each other and have gone to the same church since we were 10. We dated while we were teenagers but always knew we wanted to marry each other. He proposed to me the second he saw me after coming home from his mission, and we got married 6 months later. This was exactly what I wanted. My husband is not abusive. While he does dictate how much we spend and on what, he doesn't even look at the accounts, except for maybe once every 3 months. Almost everything is automated. I know more about what goes on in that account than he does. He does not hold the money over me. He is also one of the sweetest, most caring, loving individuals I have ever met. He regularly volunteers for the community and our church, helps out regularly around the house, makes sure to spend time with each of our children, and makes sure I feel loved and wanted. Me being a stay-at-home mom is not free childcare. I am taking the time to watch over my own children. They are as much mine as they are his. Saying it is free childcare would be like calling my husband a free gardener every time he mows the lawns or calling me a free maid every time I clean the house. I agreed to the budget early on. It seemed like a good plan, and we agreed that it would change and grow as our family does and he moves on in his career. Now onto the update. If I filter to all the "he is abusive" posts out of the rating, it is clear that I am the jerk. I honestly don't know why I lied about it in the beginning, but I know I carried on the lie because of the shame and fear of disappointing or hurting him. When I found a way to go on these girls' trips, I was proud of the fact that I was able to do it my own way, which is why I got selfish with the points. This wasn't fair. Last night I made my husband a cup of tea after the kids and we sat down and talked it out. I talked about my desire to see the world as he has. He went to Italy for his mission, and how I have only ever been to Utah and my own province before going on the girls' trips, most of which were a week in Mexico or on a cruise. He told me that he wishes that I included him in his plan as he includes me in his. He was hurt that I felt I had to hide the cards or how I am paying for these vacations. He also told me that next year his boss is planning to retire, and he is the next in line for succession. The position would give him more vacation, a larger bonus, and a $50,000 per year pay increase. They have just been talking about it this week, and he was waiting for the weekend to tell me. He is happy with our budget the way it is, and with this pay increase, we could use the entirety of it for family vacations. With the addition of the points that he will now help me get, we could probably go on 2 big trips a year. This made me feel a lot better about the future. So this weekend, thanks to someone who posted that I could be doing better, we are modifying my points gathering, applying for some new cards for him, and planning our first real vacation as a family for next year. I cried when I read a lot of the posts. I felt a lot of shame for how I behaved, but I also felt very sad that anyone could think my husband was abusive. Please ask for more clarification before jumping straight to the "he's abusive, leave him," or "prepare for him to leave you." Not everyone is like that. You're the idiot for lying for 9 years about this, but it sounds like this is not an equitable relationship. If you don't get a say in where the money goes, you are not being treated as an equal partner in this relationship. Sounds to me like marriage counseling ought to be budgeted in. In TA, maybe it'd have been better had you been upfront about it, but getting those rewards takes a lot of effort, and you're the one doing it. You shouldn't feel obligated to share them, but shouldn't guard them to the point of causing fights. Is their relationship doomed? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for telling my brother to pick his kids up from mine at 10 p.m.? I, male 23, got an apartment with my girlfriend since sophomore year. We have fully furnished the house and decorated it. There are 3 bedrooms, one is our room, guest room, and our office workspace area. My older brother, male 30, has 2 children, male 3 and female 6. I love them, but they are a pain in the bum most of the time. My niece and nephew were staying at my house 2 nights ago, and when my brother and his wife dropped them off, they brought paints with them. We told them that they have to do it on the dinner table with clear wrapping paper. When it was time for their bedtime, we tucked them into bed, and me and my girlfriend watched a show in our room. After 10 minutes of putting them to bed, we heard giggling, so I got up to check while my girlfriend stayed in bed. They were painting on the white walls. I was livid. They also got it on the sheets and the floor. I yelled at them, and they started crying. My girlfriend tried to make me calm down, but I didn't want them in my house, so I called their dad, telling him to pick them up now. He came in his dressing gown, telling what time do you call this? I showed him the mess, and he put the blame on me. I told him if he controlled his kids, once in a while none of this would happen. He wanted me to apologize for yelling at them. I told him to get the frick out of my house. He leaves and he blocks me on everything. Like the baby he is, he told our parents and our sister. They are both on my side. So am I the idiot? Everyone sucks here. The brother should not have brought paint over with the kids. Toys, yes. Paint, no. He is older and has more experience with kids and should have known better. Op left the paint where the kids would have access. The 6-year-old knows better, but kids will be kids. Op should not have yelled at the kids for acting like kids. Both adults need to apologize to each other. Not the idiot who sends their kids to someone else's home with paints. I find it crazy that so many people think this is normal though. I have 6 kids and none of them are painted or colored on our walls. It's not to teach your children. You're the idiot. They are kids, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. They don't understand the consequences because the mind of consequence isn't fully developed until you are 25. Now you have to deal with it because you didn't put away the paint so they couldn't reach them. Am I the idiot for letting my roommate's ex-girlfriend, who keeps showing up at our apartment, come inside because she was drunk? My roommate dumped her ex-girlfriend about 2 weeks ago, and the ex-girlfriend took it really badly. Over the last 2 weeks, she showed up at our apartment 8 times. She stands outside and cries and knocks on the door, begging my roommate to come out and talk to her. My roommate always just ignores her until she goes away. Usually she stays for almost an hour. Honestly, it's really sad to listen to. So last night my roommate wasn't home and her ex-girlfriend came to the door. I opened the door to tell her that my roommate wasn't there, and I could see that she was very drunk. To be fair, I don't know if she's been drunk the other times that she's shown up, but once I saw that she was, I did not feel comfortable just shutting the door on her and leaving a drunk girl alone outside at night. So I let her come inside so that I could call her an Uber to take her home. She was in our apartment for maybe 10 minutes total. I didn't let her go in my roommate's room or touch anything. She just sat on the couch and cried while she waited for the Uber to come. While she was there, I texted my roommate to let her know so that she wouldn't come home to her ex-girlfriend unexpectedly being in our apartment. My roommate got mad at me for letting her in and said that I should have just ignored her. I explained that she was drunk and I was worried about her safety, but my roommate said that it didn't matter and it wasn't okay to reward her for showing up by letting her into our apartment. My roommate is still mad at me today and is saying that next time the ex-girlfriend shows up it's going to be my problem to deal with because she's sure I just made the whole situation worse. So, am I the idiot? Edit. Because a few people have asked, the ex-girlfriend didn't do anything crazy/bad that made my roommate break up with her. She just wasn't that into her. Update. I can accept I'm the idiot here, but I just want to clarify the situation a little. The reason my roommate hasn't called the police or anything is that she's not scared of her ex-girlfriend and doesn't feel threatened by her showing up. She just finds it tiring and annoying and thinks the fastest way to get it to stop is to just ignore it. When she said I made the situation worse, she meant because now it's going to take even longer before she'll stop coming by our apartment. She compared it to the tree fitty joke about the Loch Ness Monster from South Park. You're the idiot. Frankly, at this point, instead of calling an Uber, you should have been calling the cops about harassment. This is absolutely ridiculous, and even more ridiculous that you actually let her inside. And your roommate is right, you 100% did just make it worse. Do you even know why she's an ex? No idiots here, but oh, this one is hard. Your roommate is right, but you're also right. Don't let this behavior by your ex-GF continue. If she shows up again, you and your roommate should give her a trespass warning. If she does that again, then you should call the police. She's headed for stalker territory. Should he have let her in? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for hiding my pregnancy and showing up to my sister-in-law's baby shower? I, female 23, am currently 8 months pregnant. We had been keeping it a secret and planned to tell people around this time, but a few months after my pregnancy, my sister-in-law, who is 26, found out she was pregnant. And then it just felt awkward to announce. We wanted to wait for the right time. I've been married to my husband for only 6 months, but we've been together on and off since we were 14, permanently together since we were 16. When we were 17, we found out I was pregnant. I had complications. I gave birth to my preemie stillborn at 25 weeks. So this pregnancy we've been extra cautious and secretive. I haven't seen my family much these past few months and I carry small things, but as I developed a bump, I've been wearing hoodies and Woods clothing. With that, I kind of just looked like I gained weight. We were hesitant about going. I was just going to send my husband a gift of mine, but sister-in-law said she really wanted me there. I decided to try my best to hide the bump and go. It was all going well. No one noticed. I mean, I'd had a few looks, but no one asked me anything. Then about an hour and I started having tiny cramps that eventually got more aggressive. I told my husband we need to leave and I need to go to the hospital. As we were walking, a sharp pain hit me and I grabbed the picnic table next to me and almost stumbled over, causing attention to myself. I really thought I was in labor. The pains were getting so intense. People started surrounding us, asking what was the matter, and my husband said, "She's pregnant. Guys, she's pregnant. Something's going on. We have to leave." He panicked. He rushed me to the hospital. By the time we got to the hospital, my pains had subsided. They said it was false labor. My husband and I both had angry text messages from sister-in-law and other guests at the party about us hiding the pregnancy, how messed up it was, and how they couldn't believe I showed up pregnant and was secret about it. How I had a baby stunt at someone else's shower, just a lot of not nice text. Not one asked if I was all right. Everyone sucks here. You could have mentioned it privately to your sister-in-law beforehand. I understand the fear after losing a child, but by the time you're in your 3rd trimester, your close family should probably know, especially if you plan to attend someone else's baby shower. Not the idiot. You have no obligation to share your news with anyone. The pregnancy is yours, your body. You don't have to disclose anything to anyone about your body ever. Unless you're contagious or a walking biohazard, lol, everyone who berated you is a huge aha. The only thing anyone should have texted to you is "I hope you are all right." Was she wrong to show up to the party? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for me being upset about my wife buying me a gift with my own money? My wife and I have been married now for 11 years this year and been together for 13. Throughout this time, I have flourished in my career, while she just had a job at the mall. I was fine with that until she quit her job 10 years ago. I told her we will be ok, and that you will find another job. Throughout our years of marriage, there have been tons of medical issues she has endured over the course of our marriage. Even now, she is dealing with back issues. With this in mind, she uses these medical issues, migraines, removal of gallbladder, back issues, emotional issues, etc., to say she cannot get a job. Since this is the case, clearly, we are a single-income family. In California, it is very expensive to live out here, but both of our families are out here, so moving is out of the question. I've asked her numerous times to get a job or make some type of income, but it falls on deaf ears. So during holidays such as Valentine's or Xmas, she will just take money out of our account and buy something for me. When she does this, I get pissed, because I don't want her spending the money I earned for some stupid poop that I'll barely care about. She has bought me things with my money that I question. Recently, she bought me a paring knife for Xmas, and while inexpensive, was like, what? Why would you buy that for me? We don't need a paring knife, we need groceries or pay bills. So I got upset with her and told her, why even bother buying me anything when you don't make any money and you'll just use my money? She stormed off upset and now uses this as argument artillery when we get into fights. Am I the idiot for being upset about her using the money I earned to buy a gift for me? Edit. I am the breadwinner, but I also take care of our child who is 6 while she is still having these chronic issues. And yes, I buy my son gifts with the money I earn because he is a child and deserves it. You're the idiot. You're married, you're supposed to be a team. Labeling it as my money is selfish. Either get over it or end the marriage. Maintaining the contempt you clearly have is unfair to you both. Everyone sucks here. That sounds like a breakdown in communication. Both of you need to sit down and really talk and listen to each other. She shouldn't be going against your wishes, and you shouldn't be snapping at her. Not the idiot. She consistently refuses to get a job, and should know that the financial situation isn't ideal to be going around buying you gifts with your own money. It's hilarious to see people here wanting to instantly call it our money, when I know for a fact if she does all the house chores and he does none, y'all wouldn't keep that same energy with saying our house chores. Is it wrong for the husband to think it's his money? Let me know in the comments, now. Am I the idiot for not helping a neighbor whose dog got loose? I go for a run in my neighborhood multiple times a week. I've got a lap down in my neighborhood that is pretty much a perfect mile, so oftentimes I run this so I know how far I've run. This morning down a side street, I noticed a guy chasing a dog. The dog is semi-approaching me, but it's still probably 100 yards away. I'd guess 50 pounds, no idea what breed. The guy starts yelling at me asking if I can grab his dog for him. I act like I don't hear him and keep running. I hear him frantically trying to get the dog to come back and he is trying to catch it. I just kept running and eventually got away from what was going on. About a dozen times I've been chased by dogs in my neighborhood over the 10 years I've lived here. I don't enjoy this experience, and early on living in the neighborhood, even had an owner blame me because I caused his dog to react as I ran by that house. I've had to jump in the beds of strange pickups to get away a few times, so I'm not much of a fan of the dogs or owners in my neighborhood after these experiences. As I circle back around to where the loose dog situation was, I see the owner still out looking. He sees me and he is angry and stops me. He says he can't find his dog and have I seen it. I said I haven't seen it since the last time I ran by. He mentions he asked me to grab it since it was headed my way. I responded with, sorry man, I'm not grabbing a strange dog. I don't know what it's going to do to me. He's mad with that answer, so I leave and continue my run. I get about a quarter mile away and I see his dog. It's approaching a lady walking her dogs. I even hear her, oh, where is your owner? I say nothing and run home. Was I the idiot? Not the idiot. Would the guy have taken accountability if his dog attacked you or bit you? If you aren't a dog person, you are totally right in your apprehension of not wanting to touch or catch a stranger's running dog. It could turn violent. Everyone here saying otherwise doesn't understand how the world works. You're the idiot for not telling the woman where the owner was. You didn't have to chase after the dog, but you could have at least told the woman, geez. You deliberately said nothing to get back at that guy for getting mad at you. Shame on you for being so selfish. Should he have helped find the dog? Let me know in the comments, now. Am I the idiot for asking my husband to return a gift? In December, my husband asked what I wanted for Christmas, and I told him the UG Ultra Minis. By that point, they were sold out and on back order. I kept checking occasionally in case they did come back in stock, but they didn't. Fast forward to the week after Christmas, I found a near identical pair of boots from LL Bean and ran it by my husband first since one. We just got done with Christmas, and it's not exactly a small gift in two. In case he did order a pair and was waiting for them to get in. He encouraged me to get them, so I did. I've been very happy with them and put the UGG version out of my mind. For the last couple of weeks, he has been saying he got me a great gift for Valentine's Day that I will love and hyping it up. This morning, I went to the kitchen to find flowers, candy, a card, and the UGG boots. I told him thank you, but I was confused because I had the other pair that he told me to order. He acknowledged that he did, but thought I could use a second pair anyways, saying he thought the stitching was different. I asked about returning them because I don't need two pairs of essentially the same shoe, and he got upset because it was $25 to get them shipped and another $25 to return, so we would be out $50. I put the shoes and box away in our closet. I told some friends who followed me on my hunt for these boots, and one offered to buy the extra pair, which would get us out of the $25 return cost. I told my husband, and he got even more upset, saying he would deal with it, and took the box out of the closet. I appreciated the gift and told him so I just don't need two pairs of pricey boots. Now I'm getting the silent treatment. I genuinely feel bad because he was so excited about it, and now I'm wondering if I just should have gone along with it. Am I the idiot? Edit, to clear some things up. My husband ordered the Uggs in mid-December, but they were back ordered until March. They happened to get delivered last week. They weren't even meant to be a Valentine's gift. My shoes last forever. I have 16 and 10-year-old Uggs, different styles, that have little wear. I work from home, so most days I don't even wear shoes. Most of the shoes in my closet have dust. What did I get my husband for Valentine's Day? He doesn't like gifts. I ask every year, and he always says nothing, but he'll buy golf shoes or clubs throughout the year, which is fine. Yesterday, I got him some weed, and tonight he's getting some NSFO entertainment. His favorite gift will probably be finding this post with internet strangers telling me I was in the wrong. If he hasn't already, I know people find Uggs to be gross. That's fine. My husband also finds them ugly, but he likes them better than my Chacos. You're the idiot. Sure, it was silly for him to get the boots without checking with you after you got an alternative pair. But he could have thought you just settled for the LL Bean ones, or that since you were obsessing over them, and they were hard to find, that you would want a second pair to use or keep as a backup. Regardless, you could have waited till tomorrow to tell him you didn't want them. Not the idiot. All of the AITA votes are baffling. You told him what you wanted for Christmas. They weren't available. After Christmas, you found something you wanted instead and confirmed with him that he didn't and wasn't getting the Uggs. So you got the new boots, and you don't want two near identical pairs of boots. Makes sense to me. I was leaning toward NAH until he started getting weird about it. Was it wrong for her to ask? Let me know in the comments. Now. Am I the idiot for wearing my husband's clothes instead of buying maternity clothes? I'm 26 weeks pregnant and my clothes have become too tight. This is my second pregnancy and I bought a lot of maternity clothes during my first, but I donated them to a friend who is also pregnant but was going through some financial hardships as she needed them more than I do. I was going to buy more maternity clothes when I needed them, but I've started wearing my husband's clothes and I find them a lot more comfortable. And it's not like I'm going to work every day, so I've decided not to. My husband mostly doesn't complain about me stealing his clothes all of the time, and I've had dinner with his family twice wearing his clothes. They'd never said anything to me directly, but my sister-in-law told my husband to ask me to wear something more suitable the next time as her parents would be there. I saw her texts, and they really upset me, so I'm refusing to buy maternity clothes just for their stupid dinners. My husband offered to go buy some for me, and has even tried dangling the idea of us going somewhere nice for a date soon to try to convince me I need them, but I haven't budged. I did text my sister-in-law to let her know I didn't appreciate it, but that only opened the door for her to try to convince me/argue with me over me needing maternity clothes. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It didn't seem to bother your husband until his nosy-ass sister stuck her nose in your business. Tell her that she can decide what to wear the next time she has a baby. Otherwise, leave you alone. What a stupid thing for her to worry about. She's not paying your bills. Everyone sucks here. Your husband is at least somewhat uncomfortable, seeing as he's brought up needing your own clothes and is trying to convince you to buy some new outfits. But he shouldn't have let your sister-in-law get involved and should have handled it directly between you and him. Sister-in-law sucks for being a weirdo and getting so overly involved. You suck for being so stubborn and refusing to buy your own clothes. They're his clothes, regardless of how comfortable they are not yours. Go buy yourself some new clothes and leave him alone. Am I the idiot for screwing up my boyfriend's interview by not doing his laundry on purpose? I, female 25 and my BF, male 26, had a big interview on Friday that could jumpstart his career. He's been planning for it for about 3 weeks. Usually I do all the laundry and take care of our flat in terms of cleaning. On Wednesday, he told me he wanted to wear a very specific blazer, and it was in the bin to be washed. I usually do laundry on the weekends because I'm a full-time uni student, plus I work part-time, so during the week it is hard to make time to go to the laundromat. I told him I would do it Thursday night though, and he said, Mind you, he hasn't been working since he just graduated school in the fall semester, so since the end of December. His parents help him pay the rent until he gets a job. Anyway, Thursday rolls around and I get home from class, and he's just playing a video game, and he immediately asks me when I'm going to do laundry since he's very nervous and wants it to go perfectly. I'm so tired from school break, I had an exam he didn't even ask me about, so I feel irritated and say I'm going to do it later, but I'm going to nap first. He again says and he's going to meet up with a friend for a drink to help calm his nerves. Anyway, as the title says, I ended up not doing the laundry because I was tired and also partially pissed off. He was super pissed, ended up wearing something else and saying that I screwed him up by not fulfilling what I agreed to. I thought this might blow over since he said it still went well despite me attempting to sabotage him. But he is not speaking to him still and has even said he may go stay with his parents over this. Was I really that much of an idiot? Update. When I got home I did tell him I was tired, and I asked if he could do it, but he started saying that I had promised and he had plans with his friend already. So I agreed again afterwards, and then I took a nap and overslept. And when I woke up there was only an hour before the laundromat closed. So I could have still gone, but it would have been really rushed, and I was probably being a bit petty. You're the idiot. You told him you would do the laundry. If you were pissed or felt some sort of way about having to do laundry when he just sits at home, you should have used your words to communicate with him. Not the idiot. Girl, why are you doing his laundry and all of the cleaning while being a student and working? You're not his mother or his maid. It should be an even split, and if he's not working, he should be doing more. He sat there playing video games instead of doing his own laundry. If the blazer was that important to him, he would have washed it himself. But man, you two need to have a serious talk. You're the idiot. If you want him to do more around the house, that's a completely fair but separate issue. In this case, you told him you would do it more than once. Why didn't you just tell him to do it himself? Should he have done his own laundry? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for not picking my girlfriend's daughter up from an event? I'm 37, and I've been in a relationship with a mid-40s male, woman Amy. She doesn't want to tell me her specific age, which I don't mind, for about a year. She has a 17-year-old daughter I'll call Jess. Over the weekend, Jess had a school event and had asked me for a ride in advance. I didn't mind in the slightest. I drove her over to the school, and we had a nice chat in the car. When she got out, though, a bunch of her friends were there, and she waved to me and shouted, "Later, creepy stepdad," with a huge smile. I think it was a joke to her friends. They laughed, and I stared awkwardly for a few seconds. Then Jess said, "Go, go," literally shooing me away. I drove home thinking whatever, but over time it started to really grate on me. I know that she wanted to just show off for them, but I didn't want to be stuck in a car with a girl who considered me creepy in any way. I shot her a text around that time that she would have to find another way to get home. She didn't see my text for some time, but a few hours later she called me asking for a ride. I told her that I couldn't do that as I had had a couple of drinks, which was true. Then she half hung up on me and apparently called her mother. Annie was busy working on something at the time and told me that I needed to get over there and pick her up. I responded that she could walk, get a ride from her friends, or take public transportation. It was 8 p.m. in one of the safest cities in our country, and she was going to be fine. Amy then walked away, grabbed my keys, and drove off in my car, despite having a suspended license. About 15 minutes later, Amy came home and shrieked at me about my treatment of Jess while Jess evacuated to her room. I told her that she really shouldn't be driving without a suspended license, and Amy said she wouldn't have to if I were more responsible. When I reminded her of why her license was suspended, she got furious. It's a pretty touchy subject, and told me she'd leave if she had anywhere else to go. I brushed her off with a lame, "That sounds like a you problem," and we haven't talked since. Was I being an idiot here? Update. Thanks for the responses, everyone. I've decided that due to this situation, among other things, Amy and Jess are going to be leaving my residence. I told Amy that she has until next weekend to get out, which caused a pretty terrible fight, but the red flags are very concerning. I'm sure she'll try to love bomb me so she can stay, but I've made up my mind. I really appreciate your input on the matter as it helped me decide. You're the idiot. Clearly you haven't been around teens much and took what she said in front of her friends far too seriously. And saying that sounds like a problem, and not talking to her after that sounds pretty immature as well. Not the idiot. The moment she called you creepy, you were right to exclude yourself from her. She's underage, and spreading that around even as a joke is dangerous to you. I'd insist on not being alone with her again, honestly. Did he take it too personally? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for lying and buying stuff my dad doesn't approve of? I, female 16, have friends my dad disapproves of. My friends are great people. They're nice, don't do drugs, don't have sexual partners, and are good students. My dad, however, says they are emotionally manipulative and are taking advantage of my love of gift giving. Because of this, he has banned me from buying / making them anything. I don't know where he got this idea from, as my friends are very nice people, but I don't argue with them. 2 days ago, my friends were talking about how lucky I was to have a partner during Valentine's Day, and how nobody ever thinks of single people. I felt bad for them, as I understand the pain of being single on Valentine's Day, so I decided I would buy them something unique and individual to them. Today, I told my dad I was going to go shopping for clothes, and he said all right. Instead, I went shopping for my friends, and I ended up buying them $200 worth of treats and stuff I thought they would like. I brought this home and tried to hide it in my room, but I failed and my dad ended up finding out. He got pissed and yelled at me for feeding my friends narcissistic behavior. He said I needed to grow up and stop being taken advantage of. I yelled back, saying that it was my money and my friends, and that I can buy what I want for whoever I want. He went silent and stormed off. A couple hours later, he texted me saying that I was grounded, and I can't go anywhere without someone else around until I leave my friends. I'm upset, as my friends are the only people I have at my school. I feel guilty though, as I never yell or lie or go behind my dad's back. What should I do? Am I the idiot? No idiots here. You poor baby, your dad is right, which is really heartbreaking. I think he's going about this the wrong way, but he just wants to protect you. Your friends aren't bad per se, but they aren't really your friends. They are using you for money and free labor, such as the animals and the dress. If you didn't buy them things or did things for them, would they still be your friends? If you didn't text them, would they get mad and ignore you to teach you a lesson? That's not how friends work. You're the idiot for not listening to your father and letting your manipulative friends take advantage of you. Here is an easy test for your friends. Tell them you ran out of money, etc., and see how often they want to be around you. Are her friends taking advantage of her? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for being pissed at my future spouse for refusing to wear sunscreen and getting sunburned 3 days before our wedding? Our wedding is in 2 days. We are having a destination at a beach resort, and yesterday they spent a few hours at the beach with their friends. So since we've been dating, they'd never understood the importance of wearing sunscreen. Skin cancer runs in my family, so I am hyper-cognizant about this. They're not. I have constantly had to parent them when it comes to this. Make sure they apply sunscreen like they're a kid, and it's frustrating. We've been separate doing things with our respective parties, so I can only make sure they put on sunscreen the first time I see them in the morning. Yesterday I got them to put it on, and around 9 they went out, and I went to see my friends. I didn't see them again until 5, and when I did, they were beet red all over. I asked them what happened, and they said they forgot to reapply sunscreen. I was very upset, and here's why: obviously skin cancer. And second, this means they are going to be red at our wedding, and in our wedding pictures, they're going to be red. We spent a lot of money on this, and we only get one wedding in these pictures. I know pictures aren't the most important, but still, it's incredibly frustrating for me to have to baby them about this, and the reason why they'll look this way in the pictures is because they refused to just listen to me. I went off on them and told them that now they're going to be red in our pictures because they refused to listen to me. I told them that I'm tired of babying them on this. They started crying and told me that it was an accident and that I'm being a huge idiot about this and that. We argued about this and it wasn't resolved. Am I the idiot I'm going with? Not the idiot. You expressed multiple times how important this was to you and why. Your partner did not protect your couple's bubble, and that is really why you are upset. This ain't about pictures. It's about trust. And a coupleship trust is the foundation, and this is shaken yours. You need to explain the root feeling here to your fiancé. Everyone sucks here. Your significant other should be better about sunscreen and taking care of themselves. You need to understand what's happened, and there is no reason to make someone feel worse. This is one of those funny stories that you will look back on and laugh about how your son was so stupid about sunblock, and that's why he's red in the photos. Did Hubby overreact? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for taking my flatmate's cat away? I, female 30, shared a flat with Carl, male 30, and his cat for a year. Last week my lease expired, and I took the cat with me after moving out. Carl wasn't the greatest of owners. While he did take care of the cat's food, water, and litter box, he ignored her existence almost entirely. He has been living a shutout lifestyle. His door permanently closed, leaving the cat shunned, stepping out of his room only to use the toilet, grab takeout, or leave the house. Whenever I was home, the cat spent the entirety of the time in my company, snuggling and being playful. I never felt like it was my place to educate Carl, so I never confronted him about this, but I find him a neglectful owner who deprived the cat of things just as vital for pets as food and water, love, and attention. We lived on the first floor, and he would demand the porch's slide door to never be left open in order to prevent the cat from potentially leaving the apartment. One time when he wasn't home, I brought her with me to sit in the sun, and she had the best day of her life birdwatching and climbing the vines, which saddened me because I realized how confined she always is, detached from her natural tendencies and external stimulations. Me and the cat truly bonded during my time in that flat. She would snuggle against me whenever she had the chance. In the evenings, we'd play catch with paper balls, and in the early mornings, she would show up to sleep at my side. I just couldn't leave her behind, and I knew that if I'd asked for Carl's permission to take her with me, he would, 1, most likely refuse, 2, would immediately be suspicious of me, were the cat to vanish soon afterwards. So a few days after I moved out, I returned to the flat while Carl was at work using a spare key, left the window open to make him think she exited through it, and took off. As to the cat, she recently completed her adjusting period, and now she's a happy, loved furball. A friend told me I'm in the wrong for doing this, so I decided to take this up to Reddit's court. Am I the idiot? You're the idiot. You've kidnapped this cat. I'm fairly certain I would be a better parent than most of the clowns I see running around with children. That does not entitle me to enter into their homes and take their children to raise as my own. It would be considered kidnapping, and is generally frowned upon. Not the idiot. That cat deserves love regardless of human emotions. Animals don't have a voice. As humans, we need to protect them whenever humanly possible. Animal control would have likely done nothing in this situation. Or worse, they could have taken the cat and had it euthanized. Shelters are at max capacity in most places as well. I'm glad the cat has a loving home now, and am completely willing to overlook the legality of your choice. You're the idiot. You trespassed into a home you have no business entering and stole a freaking cat. You deserve to face criminal charges. If you actually thought the cat was being mistreated, you should have reported your roommate to animal welfare authorities. So either you don't actually give a shit about the cat's wellness, or it wasn't in any danger at all. Is she wrong for taking the cat? Let me know in the comments. Now, would I be the idiot if I turned my friend in for cheating? My friend, female 23, and I, female 24, are roommates and also classmates. Over the past year, I have watched her become increasingly lazy and irresponsible to the point I don't want to live with her anymore. When we first moved in together, she was pretty laid back like me. Lately, she's constantly having guests over and letting them stay over late into the night when she knows I am in bed by 9 or 10 and am up at 6 a.m. for work. She's getting drunk and generally not pulling her weight around the house despite me repeatedly asking her to actually clean up. My peace and quiet are non-existent at this point. That's already bad enough, but the last straw has been her slacking at school and expecting me to help her. She's barely paying attention and going to class hungover, so of course she's not learning all that much. Now she wants me to share my homework answers with her and plagiarize my work, and I'm so aghast that she would even ask. How entitled do you have to be to ask someone to give away what they actually put in the effort for? She's self-destructing fast enough and now plans to pay someone for answers. I'm just about fed up with this nonsense and have half a mind to clue our teacher in. I just don't have patience for irresponsible BS, and she doesn't deserve to skate by while the rest of us actually do what we're supposed to. There's just no excuse, and it's not okay. If I'm being honest, I'm hoping she would get booted from the school and then would have no reason to live with me anymore. but that's neither here nor there. She doesn't deserve to be in class if she's not committed to it. Would I be the idiot? Should I just let her suffer the consequences whenever they do finally catch up to her? You're the idiot. Honestly, you sound petty as hell. You're mad because she is disrespecting your peace of mind. I get it, I had partier roommates in college as well. Instead of being the judge of her life choices, move out. Being vindictive won't get you anywhere in life. Not the idiot. It's perfectly within your rights to go to your professor and explain that your friend has asked you to share your work so she could plagiarize it, because there is a chance that she might decide to just take your work without asking and then have it end up with you being branded as the cheater, where your education is put at risk. You have to protect yourself first and foremost. Why she's acting out isn't your business, and I get the frustration of working hard and seeing someone else just want to coast along to keep having fun. Should she turn her in? Let me know in the comments.